Imagine a small-town courtroom, the kind where the wooden benches creak and the air smells like old coffee and nervous sweat. Lucas Grant sits at the defendant's table, his rough mechanic's hands clenched, his heart hammering so loud he's sure everyone can hear it. He's 32, a guy who's fixed cars his whole life in Havenwood, a place where everyone knows your name, but not always your story. Right now, he's on trial for the murder of Sarah Ellis, his best friend, the teacher who could make anyone smile. The town's already made up its mind. Lucas is guilty. Sarah was found dead in her backyard 3 months ago, a single stab wound to her chest, her engagement ring gone. The evidence against Lucas is flimsy. A neighbor's shaky testimony, a blurry security photo, but it's enough to put him here, staring down a life sentence. His lawyer, Mia Chen, leans close, her voice a steady whisper. 1 minute, Lucas. Hang in there. 1 minute until the jury decides his fate, and all he can do is pray for a miracle he doesn't think he deserves. Then, in his pocket, his fingers brush something cold, small, unfamiliar. His breath catches. It's a ring. Sarah's ring. The one they said was stolen. His world tilts, and he knows. 1 minute could ruin everything. Lucas wasn't always the guy everyone whispered about. He and Sarah grew up on the same dusty street, 2 kids with big hearts and bigger dreams. Sarah wanted to teach, to give kids the hope she scraped together from a rough childhood. Lucas wanted to build, to fix things, cars, lives, maybe even his own broken pieces. They'd sit on her porch, sipping burnt coffee, laughing about the day they'd leave Havenwood behind. But life had other plans. Sarah stayed, teaching at the local school, while Lucas poured his soul into his garage, keeping the lights on one oil change at a time. The night she died, Lucas was at her house, dropping off a book she'd lent him. They talked, laughed like old times. He left at 9, never dreaming it'd be the last time he saw her smile. Hours later, she was gone, and the police were at his door, their eyes cold with suspicion. Now, as the jury files in, Lucas's mind replays that night, searching for anything he missed. The ring in his pocket feels like a betrayal, a lie he didn't tell. His hand stays frozen, the sapphire burning against his skin. If he pulls it out now, he's done for. 1 minute. 1 minute to decide whether to speak or stay silent. The foreman stands, his face unreadable, and Lucas's heart is a runaway engine. The ring. Sarah's engagement ring, the one her fiancé Tom gave her, shouldn't be here. He didn't take it. He didn't hurt her. So how did it end up in his jacket, the one he's worn every day of this trial? Someone's playing a cruel game. But who? His eyes flick to the gallery. Tom sitting stiff, his face a mask. Mrs. Carter, the neighbor who swore she saw Lucas that night, clutching her purse like a lifeline. "Lucas, you okay?" Mia whispers, her sharp eyes catching his panic. He can't answer, can't breathe. If they find the ring, it's over. Guilty? No question. The foreman clears his throat, ready to speak, and Lucas's hand tightens around the ring, his mind screaming. Hide it? Confess? Run? He slides the ring deeper into his pocket, his choice made in a heartbeat. He'll face this, whatever it is, but not here. Not now. Not 1 minute before his life hangs in the balance. Not guilty, the foreman says, and the courtroom explodes, gasps, shouts, a sob from somewhere in the back. Mia grabs Lucas's arm, her smile bright with relief. "We did it," she says, but Lucas barely hears her. The ring is a secret he can't shake, a weight that could pull him under even now. He forces a nod, his eyes scanning the crowd. Tom's jaw is tight, Mrs. Carter's face pale like she's seen a ghost. A court officer stops them on the way out. "Routine check," he says. his hands moving toward Lucas's jacket. Lucas's heart stops, every nerve on fire. If they find the ring, this freedom is a lie. He stands frozen, waiting for the end. The ring, a silent scream in his pocket. The officer's hands brush the pocket, then move on, distracted by a shout in the hall. "You're good," he says, waving them through. Lucas exhales, his legs jelly as Mia pulls him into the sunlight. He's free, but the ring says he's not safe. Outside, Havenwood streets buzz with reporters and neighbors, their eyes boring into Lucas. He's free, but the town's whispers don't stop. Some still see a killer. Mia hustles him to his truck, her voice low. "What's wrong, Lucas? You're shaking." He wants to tell her about the ring, to spill the fear clawing at him, but he can't. Not yet. Someone put it there. Someone close. And he doesn't know who to trust. Back at his apartment above the garage, Lucas pulls out the ring. Its sapphire catching the dim light. Sarah's ring, the one she showed him with a shy smile, so proud of Tom's promise. How did it end up here? He sees her face, her laugh, and his chest aches. He needs answers for her. He calls Mia, his voice rough. "Someone set me up. I need to know who." The ring sits on his workbench, a puzzle he's got to solve, no matter the cost. Mia meets him at the garage, the neon sign flickering in the dusk. She's not just a lawyer. She's a former cop, all sharp edges and fierce loyalty. Lucas shows her the ring, his hands shaking. "It was in my pocket, Mia. Sarah's ring." Her eyes widen, but she doesn't flinch. "Someone wanted you to fall," she says, turning it over. "We need to trace this. Your jacket. Where it's been. Who's touched it?" Lucas thinks back. The jacket hung in his apartment, the courthouse, the garage. Someone had access. Someone who knew it'd destroy him. Mia's already making calls, her voice clipped, pulling strings with old contacts. "We'll start with Sarah's life," she says. "Her friends, her fiancé, anyone who might have wanted her gone." Lucas nods, his heart heavy. Digging into Sarah's world feels like betraying her, but he owes her the truth. The ring sits between them, a silent promise to find it. Mia's contacts come through with Sarah's phone logs, bank records, scraps of her life. One name stands out. Tom, her fiancé. He'd been quiet during the trial, his grief locked tight, but Lucas remembers the way he looked at him in court, cold, distant, like he was hiding something. Sarah had mentioned fights with Tom, small things that worried her. Lucas brushed it off then. But now? Mia finds a pawnshop receipt, a sapphire ring sold the day after Sarah's death, signed T. Ellis Tom's name. Lucas's stomach twists. He wouldn't, he says, but doubt creeps in. Could Tom have betrayed her? Planted the ring to frame him? Mia's eyes are hard. "We need to talk to him." They drive to Tom's carpentry shop, the ring in Lucas's pocket like a loaded gun. He's not sure what he'll find, but he's ready to face it. For Sarah. Tom's shop smells of sawdust and varnish, his hands steady on a piece of wood as Lucas and Mia walk in. His eyes narrow when he sees them. "What do you want, Lucas?" he asks, his voice tight. Lucas holds up the ring, watching Tom's face. "This was in my pocket. Sarah's ring. Know anything about it?" Tom doesn't blink, but his hands twitch, just for a second. "You're wrong," he says, turning away. Mia steps in, her voice sharp. "We've got a receipt, Tom. Your name? A pawn shop. Talk." Tom's shoulders slump, and he leads them to a back room, pulling out a box of letters in Sarah's handwriting. "She was leaving me," he says, his voice breaking. "She was scared. Not of me, of someone else." Lucas's heart races. Someone else? The ring feels heavier, a clue to a truth he's only starting to see. Sarah's letters are raw, her words spilling fear. She wrote about Victor Klein, a history teacher at her school, who'd been too close, showing up at her house, leaving gifts she didn't want. "He scares me," she wrote. "I don't know how to stop him." Lucas remembers Victor, quiet and watchful, testifying against him at the trial, backing Mrs. Carter's story. His blood runs cold. Mia's already thinking ahead. Victor's got no alibi for that night. We need to dig. They leave Tom's shop, the ring a burning weight in Lucas's pocket. Tom swears the pawned ring was a family heirloom, not Sarah's, sold to cover debts. Lucas wants to believe him, but trust is a fragile thing. Victor's face haunts him, calm, calculated, hiding something dark. Lucas knows he's close to the truth, but it's a dangerous path and he's not turning back. Mia pulls strings, hacking into Victor's school emails. They're full of messages to Sarah, pleas, veiled threats, promises of forever. Lucas's stomach churns. This is the man Sarah feared, the one who might have taken her life. Mia wants to go to the police, but Lucas shakes his head. They won't listen. Not after the trial. We need proof. They tail Victor to a wooded trail near Sarah's house, where her body was found. It's dark, the air thick with pine and secrets. Victor stops in a clearing digging in the dirt. Lucas's heart pounds. Is he hiding something? Mia's phone records, but a snap of a twig gives them away. Victor's head whips around, his eyes locking on them. "Run!" Mia whispers, but Lucas's feet are glued. The ring in his pocket a reminder of why he's here. They're close. Too close to stop now. Victor's fast, a knife glinting in his hand as he charges. Lucas grabs Mia, pulling her into the trees, their breaths loud in the night. They lose him in the dark, hearts pounding, but not before Lucas sees what Victor was digging. A small box, wrapped in cloth, something metallic inside. Evidence, maybe the truth. Back in Mia's car, Lucas's hands shake. "He's hiding something," he says, the ring heavy in his pocket. Mia nods, her face grim. "We need that box. But we're not cops, Lucas. We've got to be smart." Lucas thinks of Sarah, her smile, her trust in him. He can't let her down. They called Jake, Mia's old cop friend, to watch Victor. The ring feels like a ticking clock, pushing Lucas toward a truth that could break him, or set him free. Mia and Lucas wait until Victor's at work, then slip into his house through a back window. It's a mess. Books, papers, photos of Sarah pinned to a wall like a twisted shrine. Lucas's stomach turns. Mia finds the box under a floorboard, its contents chilling. A locket with Sarah's hair, a bloody cloth, a note in her handwriting. "Victor, please stop." Lucas's hands shake as he reads it. This is proof, but not enough to nail Victor. They need him to confess, to show the world who he really is. Mia's eyes are fierce. "We set a trap," she says. "Get him to talk." Lucas nods, the ring a weight he can't ignore. He's in deep, but there's no turning back. They leave the house, the box hidden in Mia's bag. Lucas feels Sarah's presence, urging him on, her voice in his heart. He's doing this for her. Mia's plan is bold. Lure Victor to the clearing with a note in Sarah's handwriting style saying she left something there. Lucas hesitates. What if he runs? Or worse? Mia's eyes don't waver. Then we make sure he doesn't. Jake agrees to stay close, ready to call for backup. Lucas clutches the ring, its sapphire a spark of hope and fear. That night they hide in the woods, watching Victor arrive, his flashlight sweeping the ground. He's muttering, frantic, the knife in his hand. Lucas steps out, holding the ring high. "Looking for this, Victor?" Victor's eyes widen, rage replacing fear. "You don't know what you're doing," he snarls. Mia's phone records, Jake's flashlight ready. Lucas's heart pounds, but he's not backing down. not for Sarah. Victor lunges, but Mia's faster, tackling him as Jake's voice cuts through. "Drop it, Klein!" The knife falls, and Victor's face twists, his voice a hiss. "She was mine. She didn't understand." He spills it all, following Sarah, fighting with her, planting the ring in Lucas's jacket to frame him. Mia's phone catches every word, the truth finally out. Jake cuffs Victor, his face grim. Lucas sinks to his knees, the ring falling to the dirt. Sarah's killer is caught, but her loss cuts deeper than ever. He sees her face, her laugh, and tears fall. "I'm sorry, Sarah," he whispers, the ring glinting in the moonlight. Mia puts a hand on his shoulder. "You did it, Lucas. For her." But Lucas knows this isn't the end. He's got to keep her light alive. Victor's arrest shakes Havenwood. The town that condemned Lucas now whispers apologies, or stays silent. Mrs. Carter, the neighbor, avoids him, her testimony exposed as Victor's lie. Tom shows up at the garage, his voice thick. "I should have trusted you, Lucas. I'm sorry." Lucas nods, but forgiveness is a slow burn. He just wants Sarah back. Mia pushes for a public apology from the police, but Lucas isn't sure he needs it. He keeps the ring, not as evidence, but as a piece of Sarah, a reminder of the friend he lost. At night, he dreams of her in the clearing, smiling under stars. He wakes with tears, knowing he has to keep going. The ring sits on his workbench, a question he's not ready to answer. Who else knew? Who else helped Victor? Mia digs deeper, finding a connection. Mrs. Carter's son, Tim, a troubled kid who worked at Lucas's garage last summer. Tim had access to the jacket, hung in the open during shifts. Lucas's heart sinks. Tim, barely 16, was Victor's pawn? He confronts Mrs. Carter holding up the ring. Did Tim help him frame me? Her face crumples, tears falling. $1 million baby. He thought it was a prank. Victor told him to do it. Lucas's anger flares, but he sees her pain. Tim was a kid, manipulated, lost. He leaves her house, the ring heavy, his heart heavier. Tim turns himself in, confessing to slipping the ring into Lucas's pocket for Victor. The truth hurts, but it's a step toward healing. Lucas just wants to move on. For Sarah. Lucas throws himself into the garage, fixing cars with a focus he hasn't felt in years. The kids at Sarah's school start coming around, asking for help with projects. He teaches them to build, to dream, seeing Sarah in their eager faces. The ring stays on a chain now, close to his heart, a piece of her he can carry without pain. Mia stops by, her smile soft. What's next, Lucas? He doesn't know, but he's starting to feel alive again. The ring isn't a curse anymore. It's a promise to keep going, to make Sarah proud. He visits her grave, the willow tree swaying gently. I'll keep fighting, he says, the ring warm against his chest. The wind feels like her answer, soft and warm. Life feels steady until Mia calls with news that chills him. Victor's brother Ethan is in town asking questions, blaming Lucas for Victor's arrest. Ethan's a drifter. Trouble in his blood, and Mia's sources say he's dangerous. Lucas keeps the ring close, a talisman now, as he locks the garage tight. He sees Ethan one night, watching from across the street, eyes glinting. Lucas's heart races, but he's not running. I'm done hiding, he tells Mia. She nods, her voice firm. Then we face him, together. The ring feels heavier, a reminder of the fight ahead. Lucas is ready, for Sarah, for himself. Lucas wakes to glass shattering in the garage. He grabs a wrench, creeping downstairs, heart pounding. Ethan's there, crowbar in hand, face twisted with rage. You took my brother, he snarls. Lucas stands tall, the ring on its chain a steady weight. Victor killed Sarah, not me, Ethan swings, but Lucas dodges, the wrench connecting with a clang. They grapple, tools crashing, until Mia and Jake burst in, guns drawn. Ethan drops the crowbar, his eyes burning as Jake cuffs him. "This isn't over," he spits. Lucas knows it is. He sinks against a workbench, the ring glinting. He's survived, but the scars remain. Sarah's memory keeps him going. Ethan's arrest forces Havenwood to face its mistakes. The paper prints a story clearing Lucas, and people show up at the garage, neighbors, customers, even Mrs. Carter offering quiet apologies. Lucas accepts them, not for himself, but for Sarah. He wants her town to heal. He starts a woodworking club at the school, teaching kids to build just like Sarah would have wanted. Their laughter fills the void, and Lucas feels her there, smiling. The ring hangs in his apartment, a symbol of resilience, not guilt. But there's more to do. A way to make her life mean something bigger. Lucas feels it in his bones. Mia finds a journal in Sarah's classroom, hidden in a desk. It's full of her dreams, a community center for kids, a place for hope. Lucas reads it, tears falling. This is Sarah's legacy, the one Victor tried to erase. The ring on its chain feels like her blessing to make it real. He meets Tom, showing him the journal. "She wanted this," Lucas says. Tom nods, eyes wet. "Let's do it." They rally the town, planning a center in Sarah's name. Havenwood comes alive, people donating time, money, heart. Lucas sees Sarah in every step, her smile guiding him. The ring is her voice, telling him to keep going. The Sarah Ellis Community Center grows in an old warehouse, transformed with paint and dreams. Lucas builds tables, shelves, a future, his hands steady. Kids help, painting murals, their laughter echoing. Ava, a quiet girl from the school, paints a willow tree, Sarah's favorite, and Lucas sees Sarah in her eyes. Tom donates funds, his grief shared now, a bond with Lucas. Mrs. Carter brings food, her apology silent but real. The town builds together, healing old wounds. Lucas wears the ring, not a burden, but a piece of Sarah's light. Opening day is close, and Lucas feels ready, not just to honor Sarah, but to live for her. The night before the opening, a note slips under the garage door. "You don't win." Ethan, out on bail, is back. Mia's cameras catch him at the center, tampering with wires, a gas can in hand. Lucas's blood boils. This is Sarah's dream, and no one's taking it. They stake out the center with Jake, waiting. Ethan appears, ready to burn it down. Lucas tackles him, rage and love driving him. "This is for Sarah," he growls as Jake cuffs Ethan. The center stands, untouched, a beacon of hope. Lucas holds the ring, feeling Sarah's strength. They've won, but the fight's left scars. Opening day is magic, kids running, music playing, Ava's willow mural glowing. Lucas speaks, his voice strong. "This is for Sarah, who believed in second chances." Ava hands him a painting, a ring under a willow tree, a gift. He hangs it in the center, tears falling. Tom stands beside him, a friend again. "She'd love this," he says. Lucas nods, the ring warm against his chest. Sarah's here, in the laughter, the hope, the love. Havenwood's not perfect, but it's trying, and that's enough. Lucas feels free, not just from the trial, but from the weight of guilt. Sarah's with him, always. Lucas doesn't run the center. He gives it to Ava's mom, a teacher Sarah loved. "It's hers," he says, meaning Sarah. Ava hugs him, calling him Mr. Lucas, and he smiles, feeling whole. He teaches kids at the center, showing them how to fix cars, build dreams, just like Sarah would have. Mia stays in Havenwood, her law office helping kids like Lucas once was. They're friends now, bonded by the fight. The ring hangs in his garage, a symbol of love, not loss, a reminder of the journey. At night, Lucas talks to Sarah under the stars, her presence warm. "We did it," he says, and he knows she hears him.
Lucas visits Sarah's grave, the willow tree soft in the breeze. He doesn't bring the ring. It's on its chain, close to his heart. "We built your dream, Sarah," he says, his voice steady. "It's alive." The wind feels like her laugh, gentle and bright. Ava joins him, her sketchbook in hand, showing a drawing of the center, kids under a willow. "For you, Mr. Lucas," she says. He tucks it by the grave, tears falling. "For Sarah," he says, his heart full. They sit together, sharing stories of Sarah. The pain softer now, woven with love. The grave's a place of peace, not sorrow. The center thrives, a hub of art, woodworking, hope. Lucas sees Sarah in every kid, her spirit in their smiles. He and Tom share stories, keeping her memory alive. Mia helps run classes, her laughter a new light in Lucas's life. The ring, on its chain, is a quiet promise, a life rebuilt. Havenwood's change, no longer a town of whispers, but one of second chances. Lucas feels it, the shift, the healing. Sarah's dream is their dream now, and it's growing. Lucas stands outside the center, the ring warm against his chest. He's not the outcast anymore. He's home. Lucas teaches Ava to fix a carburetor, her small hands eager, her smile like Sarah's. He's not just teaching. He's building a family, piece by piece. Tom joins him sometimes, his grief softer, shared. Mrs. Carter stops by, her guilt fading as she helps the kids. The ring hangs in Lucas's apartment, catching the light. It's not a burden, but a gift, a piece of Sarah he carries with love. He talks to her at night, under the stars, feeling her close. "We're okay," he whispers, and the wind answers, warm and sure. Havenwood's alive, and so is Lucas, carrying Sarah's light into the future. The center grows, kids painting, building, dreaming. Lucas watches, his heart full, seeing Sarah in every moment. Ava's mural spreads across a wall, a willow tree stretching to the sky. She'd love this, Lucas tells Ava, who nods, her eyes bright. Mia and Lucas sit on the center steps, sharing coffee, laughing like old friends. The ring, on its chain, is a quiet reminder of the fight, the love, the victory. Lucas feels whole, not perfect, but enough. Sarah's legacy lives in the kids, the town, the hope. Lucas knows she's smiling, and that's all he needs. Lucas stands outside the center at night. The sky is a sea of stars. The ring rests against his heart, a piece of Sarah he'll always carry. He sees her face, her laugh, and smiles. "We did it, Sarah," he says, his voice soft. The stars seem to shine brighter, her answer in the light. Ava runs out, holding a new drawing, a ring under a starry sky. "For us," she says, and Lucas hugs her, tears falling. The center hums with life, Havenwood reborn, and Lucas is part of it, a man who found his way through loss. This is Sarah's dream, their dream, and it's just the beginning. Subscribe and hit the bell for stories of courage, truth, and love that never fades.